Hi guys, happy Wednesday. Hope everyone is staying healthy and safe out there. So in today's video, I am going to go over all of my calendars for April and share with you what my April sales ended up looking like. And they were definitely interesting, that's for sure. But before I get into that, I want to touch upon a lot of the comments that I've been seeing between yesterday and the day before that, because the last two videos were about how my 6 Series front passenger rim, the claim was denied by Turo, and I've gotten a lot of feedback from you guys, and unanimously everyone in the host community thought that that claim should be covered. And it was something that I was thinking about this morning, and again, this is just one person's opinion and one person's perspective, and I would consider myself completely ignorant when it comes to knowing, what Turo's cost of business is, or how paying out certain claims and not other claims affects their bottom line or their ability to process claims and continue to be an insurance provider in this business model that they have. So I really have no clue. I'm just giving my opinion and my perspective. But the thought that really came to mind is that I feel like if things kind of continue down this trajectory, it's a really dangerous sort of domino effect, right? Because the number one goal of any marketplace is to transact. And Turo's whole thing is that they want to have a high supply of cars in the marketplace. They want good quality, they want their host to provide value, and most importantly, they want renters coming onto the platform to have 5-star experiences. That is, at the end of the day, that is their meat and bones. That is what they just want to accomplish no matter what. It's the most important thing, right? That these people have 5-star experiences. But I feel like the side of it that I don't know if they see it or not, but this is kind of what I foresee happening in the marketplace is if they continue to become more stringent upon their claims process and what they decide to cover and what they don't cover, such as really horrible curb rash, which absolutely ruins the way a car looks, especially on a nice car like my 6 Series BMW. I mean, to rent a nice car at a high dollar value and to have scraped up rims that look so ugly, especially on rims that are gloss black and you can just see the metal chewed up around the lip of the rim. I mean, it's horrible, right? A renter is not going to have a good impression of that car. And what's going to happen is basically by them not covering claims, it increases our cost of doing business as a host, right? And on top of that, they will likely continue to increase the cost of claims, the cost of insurance rather, I should say, that us as hosts pay for. So whether that's in the form of their percentage take from our revenue or in the form of increasing deductibles, that cost of business is going to rise. And so what that's going to do is that's going to continue to squeeze the bottom line for host, obviously, right? And if they begin to not cover claims, even small stuff like curb rash, hosts are not going to want to come out of pocket and actually may not be able to come out of pocket to make those repairs, which in turn is going to result in renters thinking that they're renting nice cars, but really these cars are going to end up getting banged up, not maintained well, and they're not going to be happy with those experiences, which is going to result in less than 5-star experiences, which is exactly what the platform and the marketplace doesn't want. And so it is this very dangerous domino effect that they are really putting in motion by having their claims process become so stringent. And then on top of that, the fact that there's a real lack of transparency, right? So it's, how are we as hosts supposed to know when something like that changes? And the fact that they had that as the very specific example on their website. How are hosts supposed to know that? Especially new hosts coming onto the platform. You can only imagine if you're a new host and you list a really nice car, your wheels come back banged up, you had high hopes for being on this platform and earning revenue, you go to file that claim, you figure out, oh wait, this is not going to be covered, but you don't have any previous knowledge of that because there really isn't any form of, I guess, education provided by the platform to their hosts, letting them know, hey, these are the guidelines, or hey, we've made these changes. It's not going to leave a good impression on new hosts coming in, and eventually they're not going to host their cars because the value proposition for us as hosts is diminishing. And if that value proposition diminishes as a host, you're not going to have hosts. You're not going to at least have 5-star hosts who are going to provide a great product and great value and great experiences, which is exactly what the marketplace thrives off of. So this is a very slippery slope, and I hope that that is not the trajectory that this ends up taking, so that we as hosts who really pride ourselves on having nice cars and maintaining our cars well and providing a great vehicle to our renters can continue to do that. But you always, doesn't matter what business you're in or what you're doing, you always have to evaluate your opportunity versus your opportunity cost. And as soon as the scales begin to start teetering in the wrong direction, it's time to exit, right? Because there is no justification to stay in if the opportunity doesn't outweigh the opportunity cost. And right now, Turo scales are really tipping and feels like in the wrong direction, but I hope that that is not the trajectory that this takes. So I'll definitely be keeping my eye on claims. And like I've said, I've been documenting my journey for many years on this YouTube channel. You guys can go back. I have a playlist on my homepage called, I think, Tales of Turo Claims, and you can see, I would say I probably have a 98% success rate thus far. And I don't want to jinx myself and have that start turning in the wrong direction. And I think, from my personal opinion, that a 90% success rate overall is pretty good. The other claim that I had that was not covered, actually, ironically enough, just made me think about it because this car is right behind me, is this little fender, the black fender that is on the wheel of the Vanderhall. Well, it got a little bit of a curb rash right on the outer lip. I would get up and show you guys, but really I'm wearing PJs, so I don't want to get up because my outfit's not going to match. But the renter actually messaged me, and this is, I think, over a year ago, so it's really old. Messaged me saying that, you know, he had hit a curb and to just, you know, go ahead and file a claim because he purchased the insurance. Well, Turo denied the claim again, reason being that the photos weren't clear, which, you know, and I'm a host, so of course I'm biased, and I thought the photos were clear, but it's your word against theirs. And so they just said that they couldn't cover it. In that situation, luckily, I was able to work it out with my guest, and so I got it covered. But that was another scenario where one of the very few seldom times that I've had where a claim wasn't covered. In yesterday's video, I showed you guys my Jeep that had gone off-roading and it had scratches down the entire left side of the car. I think that Turo did a pretty fair job on covering that claim. And of course, I'll have to go, if I need to go through the supplement process, I can. So I have that option there. So that's kind of my little take on what I think in terms of the grand scheme of this and why it could be so dangerous and ultimately could be the demise of a marketplace like Turo. You know, they have to maintain that quality with their hosts in order for their hosts to maintain that quality with their guests. And so that's, you know, something that I'm going to be paying very close attention to, because if I feel like the scales tip the other way, then I would definitely make my exit out of the marketplace. It's a no-brainer, right? Because I will not put myself in a situation where the opportunity cost weighs more than the opportunity. Why would I do that? I'm in this to make money, to provide great experiences, and to build something that is of value to other people, right? That is what my foundations are for my fleet and my business. So that's my little take on that. Let's go into April revenues. So in a second here, I'll get off camera and do a little screen share of all of my listings and my cars. But for a brief description, my sales in the month of April were down 58%. We still have a day to go, but I just used the projections under the Host Hub earnings tab to get a good picture of what April panned out to be. 58%. I thought actually that sales would be down closer to 80, maybe 85% worst case scenario. So I was really kind of following along with what they had projected for the marketplace as a whole, what the travel industry is experiencing. So I'm glad that I fell below that, or I should say above that. And so it panned out a bit better than what I had anticipated, but nonetheless, absolutely horrible. Of course, because of the crisis that we're in. However, I was able to really gain a lot of bookings throughout April, which was good. I don't have very many future bookings going into May. So that's always worrisome because usually around this time of year, you get advanced bookings for May, June, July, August, and even out till September because this is peak season. But of course, given the situations that we're in, we're just not seeing that type of a buyer's market, that type of action going on in the marketplace. So I'm hopeful for the month of May. I'm anticipating that for the month of May, that sales will be a little bit more similar to March because I think May will follow somewhat of a similar pattern to March, where the beginning of March was pretty good. We were off to a great start, and then mid-March is kind of when everything happened and the quarantines went into effect. Now May will be the reverse, I think, in what I anticipate is where the first half most people will still be quarantined, so it'll continue to be slow. But in the second half, as the restrictions kind of begin to loosen up a little bit, we'll pick up in bookings a little bit. So I think I said in March I was down 40% in sales, I want to say, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. I think May will sort of reflect the same thing. So let's see how all that goes. All of my pricing has been inching up, which is good. I'm glad that my day rates are no longer in the gutter like they were, especially beginning of April. I would say in the last week and a half or so, I have begun to raise my prices and I'm getting the bookings, which is good. So let's go take a look at my calendars and see how April panned out for all the different cars. Okay, so let's hop into my host hub and get to the first car, my 2 Series BMW. So it did pretty well this month. It was booked basically the entire month of April, which was good, but at a lower price rate than definitely the normal. My 4 Series did pretty decent as well and has 1 booking going into the month of May. So not too bad on that car either. I'm starting to lift my prices. Here's my 6 Series, which did well this month, and this has mainly been because of a repeat renter that I've had and a lot of local rentals that I've gotten, but no bookings for May. My Blue X4 also did pretty decent in the month of April, and then no upcoming bookings as of yet in the month of May. Let's go into my Silver X4. This one I don't think did very well. Yeah, it was okay. Not as well as I would have liked. It had a lot of days where it could have gone out but didn't, and really no bookings for May. Here's my Corvette. Also did not perform very well at all in April. I guess people are not in the mood to drive sports cars around, even in this incredibly nice weather we've been having. And the Jeep did not do well in May, but I actually got the entire month in April. Sorry, I didn't do well in April, but the entire month of May is fully booked for the Jeep, which is awesome. This is my convertible C300, which was booked for the entire month of April, but really no bookings going into May. And then we have my white C300, which did all right, what I would consider to be okay, moderate in April, and it has a booking going into May. And then let's go into my little auto cycles. Polaris actually did pretty well. It brought in good dollar amounts and it has a lot of upcoming bookings in the month of May. All the weekends are pretty booked up, probably because the weather has been nice. And on my Vanderhaul, I absolutely got murdered this month because it needs some repairs and the repair shop is not open. All right, guys, so that is how my April sales panned out and what the future of my bookings look like for the month of May. What I would love to hear from you guys is, what percentage decrease did you see for your sales in the month of April? And are you seeing reservations being booked in advance for the month of May? Also, where is your pricing? Are you priced low? Are you priced average? Or are you priced high? So if you guys can chime in and let me know what your strategies are moving into the month of May, I would definitely love to hear that. And I would say the single greatest factor in me obtaining so many days booked in the month of April was by far extensions. Extensions was the number one factor for, and I would say, an increase in sales this month. I would say probably, if I had to assign a number to it, I would say probably 70% of my renters extended their trips during the month of April. And that obviously has something to do with this climate that we're in, because normally that number is not that high for sure. I've never seen so many extensions the way that I'm seeing them now. And it's as simple as reaching out to your guests before their reservation ends. I usually try to reach out to them between 12 and 24 hours in advance, because you want to make sure you can catch them in case they're busy and there's enough time for them to extend. And the way that I specifically approach them is I let them know, hey, the car is available for extension, and this is the day rate for the following day. For whatever reason, I have noticed if you tell them exactly what the price is, they are more inclined to extend, versus if you just say, hey, the car is available for extension. If you want to keep it longer, please go ahead and extend. That's just the way that people buy for whatever reason. I don't know why. So that has been a huge help for me, and it's something that I'll continue to apply to my trips for sure throughout the rest of the year, because it has been so successful. So that would definitely be my tip of the day if you're trying to boost your rentals or get more days booked on your calendar. Extensions is the way to go in this climate. And that's about it for me. Once again, on Friday is when I will be having that interview with John Sverrick, who is the author of The Wealthy Gardener. And we, I think as a community, are going to get some really great insight and some great advice that is going to apply specifically to us. And again, he's somebody who has successfully built and amassed wealth through a rental business. So I'm really excited for that. That will be going live on Friday. And other than that, that is it for me. I will be in the comment section a little later today, probably after dinner, and early tomorrow. I've lately been waking up at 4 a.m. So if you get a response from me early in the morning, it's just because I'm up. So on that note, that is it. Once again, thanks for watching, guys. My name is Saimah. This is Saimah's Experience. And if you like this channel, be sure to subscribe. I am really trying hard to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of May. And you can help me get there. And if you would help me, that would be so great. I would so appreciate it. Thanks for watching, guys. And I'll talk to you soon.